Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's class is going to be a little higher level, getting our heart rate up a bit. It's going to have a lot of leg exercises in it. We're going to be starting with a bit more of a dynamic workout. So I have the long box on, one medium blue spring, foot bar up. Some other props that you need. We will be kneeling on the platform, so I just have a pad just to kind of soften it, so that may or may not be something that you want. And then I have 2 3-pound weights that I have off to the side of the reformer. So we're going to be doing some back body work with it. So 2 to 5 pounds, whatever works for you, but just off to the side for now. This will be a little bit more of a wrist heavy workout, but we're going to be alternating between weight bearing on the wrist and non-weight bearing on the wrist. So just kind of a heads up with that. So go ahead, get your equipment, 2 small weights, box on, long box, foot bar up, a pad if you would like, and 1 medium blue spring, and then we'll get started. We're going to come onto all fours. We'll be kneeling on the box, hands will go on the foot bar. So we're in our quadriped position. We're going to be starting with some cat-cow here. You want to have the wrists over the shoulders and the hips over your knees. Take an inhale, you're going to melt the back down as you lift the chest. And then exhale to reverse the curve so you're puffing up the upper back. Inhale to switch. Exhale, reverse. So you can follow the pace of your own breath here. Just warming up through our spine, getting some nice flexion and extension. And just a few more rounds. We'll go one more time through. And then come back to your neutral spine. You're going to extend the left leg out behind you. And then if you feel comfortable here, you're going to lift the right arm. And then you're going to round through the spine as you bring the left knee and the right elbow together. Maybe they touch, maybe they won't. And then shoot everything back out long. So bring the knee to the elbow and shooting it out. Knee to elbow. Shoot it out on your inhale. Let's go for 5 more. Trying to keep the carriage steady, best that you can. 2. Last one. And then both hands will come to the bar. Left leg will stay out long. We'll do push-ups here. Keep the elbows tucked in tight as you bend the elbows. The left leg will reach up towards the ceiling or back behind you, and then press back up. We'll go for 8. Bending into those elbows. Trying to keep the weight even on both hands. You're going to find that since we have one leg extended, you're probably going to favor one hand as well, but try to keep the weight even. And we've got 2 more. Last one. And back up. We're going to stay in this position, both hands on the bar, left leg out long. Use the arms to press the carriage out, trying to keep the right hip over the right knee best that you can. When the carriage comes in, you're going to bring that left leg out to the left. And then it'll shoot behind you as we press out. And then that left leg will come to the left as we bring the carriage in. 6 more, we'll flow through it here. Trying to keep that left leg high as we bring it out to the left. And you're using your core to stabilize. I think we have about 3 more. 2. And last one. Bring the carriage in, and then we're going to put the left foot on the bar. So it'll be a bit of balancing here. So go ahead into best position for you. And we're going to start with some hinges. Keeping the spine straight, you're just going to hinge forward a few inches and then focus on using that left glute to come back to an upright position. So you'll hinge forward, that left glute will bring you back upright. 6 more here. And we've got 5. Chest stays open. And 4. And 3. Finding that nice balance. 2. Last one. Really working into that left glute. When we're back to upright, we'll pause here. And then we're going to begin pressing the carriage out with that left leg. So really strong through the core. You're nice and tall through the crown of your head. Begin pressing the carriage out. And the hamstrings will pull you back in. Quads to press out. Hamstrings pull you back in. 6 more. 8 is kind of the magic number for today. I think we have about 4 left here, keeping your balance. And 3. And 2. Last one. And then we'll put that together. So now we've got our hinge forward, left glute will bring you back to upright. Press the carriage out and back in. Hinge forward, glute brings you upright. Press out with that left leg. Hamstrings bring you back in. Five more to go. Three more. And 2. Last one. Good work. Hands will go to the bar, bring the left leg a little bit more out to the left, and then press the carriage back with that right leg. So we're in like a lizard pose. So feeling a stretch in that right hip flexor, chest stays open, and a little bit into the left inner thigh too. So we'll just hang out here for a few breaths. Just getting that nice stretch. And then you could bring the carriage back in. That left knee will come back to the box. And we're going to repeat that on the second side, starting with our cat-cows. So we'll inhale to let the back melt down, lift through the chest. Exhale to reverse it, puffing up through the upper back, strong through the hands. And a few more rounds here, following the pace of your own breath. Let's do 2 more times. And last one. Good. Now you're going to straighten the right leg out behind you. Left hand will go out in front of you. You're reaching through those left fingers and the right toes. And then holding your balance, you're going to round through the spine as you bring that left elbow to the right knee, and then shoot everything back out long. Knee to elbow, shoot everything back out long. Using the core to pull the knee in towards your chest. 5 more. And 4. 3. 2. Last one here. Right leg will stay out behind you, left hand will come to the bar, and we have our push-ups. Keep the elbows tucked in as you bend into the elbows, right leg will lift up, and then use those triceps to press back up. So bending down, pressing up, 6 more here, strong through the arms. 4 to go. 2 more, that right glute is engaged. Last one. Good. Keep that right leg out behind you. Now you're going to press back with the arms. Dip down a little bit into the well. And then as you bring the carriage forward, you're going to bring that right leg out to the side. As you press the carriage out, that right leg will shoot behind you. As you bring it in, right leg will come to the side. Working through our abductors of that right leg. And trying to keep the left hip over the left knee, best that you can. We have 5 more. 3 more. Keeping that right leg lifted. And last one. And then you're going to bring that right leg forward and onto the bar. I have kind of my right arch on the bar. And then we'll come up into an upright position. And we have those hinges. So finding your balance, you're going to hinge forward and then use that right glute to come back to an upright position. Hinge forward just a few inches, chest stays open. Right glute will bring you back to upright. Four to go. And 3. And 2. Last one here. Once you're back to an upright position, so over that left knee, you can begin pressing the carriage out with the right leg. So you might find that one side feels different from the other side. So holding your balance, core is engaged. We're pressing out for about 8 of them. Quads will press you out. Hamstrings pull you back in. About 5 more to go. Two more. Last one. Good work. And now we'll put that together. You're going to hinge forward, come back up, press the carriage out, and back in. Hinge forward, we'll come up, press the carriage out, and back in. 6 more rounds. Squeezing into that right glute to bring yourself back to upright. Three more. Last one. And then when the carriage comes in, both hands will go to the bar. You can walk the right leg out to the right a little bit. Press the carriage out, chest stays open, feeling a nice stretch in that left hip flexor and the right inner thighs. And then you could bring that carriage back in. Knees will come to the box. Step off to your left. And then we're going to put the box next to the carriage. And you're going to find one of your weights. We're going to keep that one medium blue spring on. We'll pick up the front strap, step onto the box. The weight is going to go in the short loop. And I hope I didn't cut my head off, but I may have. but more importantly, you're watching the leg. So feet will be hip distance apart. You're holding onto the weight with both hands and onto the side of the weight. We're going to do a squat with a row. So as you squat down, you're going to pull the weight in towards your chest. And then as the arms go back out, you'll stand back up. So we're squatting and rowing. When you squat down, you're thinking of bringing the hips back so the knees aren't pressing forward. If I look down, I can still see my toes. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. And then we're going to hold in our squat, and we've got 8 rows here. So still sitting back, just pulling the strap in towards your chest and extending the arms out long. 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and back up. We'll sit back down, come into your row, so pull it in. This is going to be the hold position. With that right leg, so left leg closest to the carriage will stay where it is. With that right leg, you're going to bring it to the side of the box, tap to the floor, and then bring the toes back to the box. So it's just tap and back up. Tap, back up. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. When your foot is on the box, you can come all the way up to standing. Now we're going to step back with that right leg. So you're going to squat and do a row as the right foot steps back. And then as you come up, you're going to dip your arms down. Right leg will come behind you a little bit. And then you'll step that right foot back, squat into the front leg, row. And then as you come up, that leg will go out behind you. So let's go for a few more here. Finding that balance in that left leg. So take your time. Try not to rush through this. We'll go for 5 more rounds. Two more. Finding that stability in the ankle, that left ankle. Landing softly with the last foot. This is our last round. And bring that foot forward. Good work. Take the weight out. We'll hang up that strap. Let's put the weight off to the side for now. I'm coming around to the other side of my reformer and lowering the foot bar down. You're going to put on the lightest spring that you have. Take off your medium. And then we're going into a plank set. So let's see here. I'm gonna have to move my box. We want the box so that way it's in front of the platform. And then you'll have the right knee on the platform. Left one will stay on the carriage. Your toes will be tucked underneath you. Hands are going to go to the box. First thing we're going to do here is just a hover. So really strong through the arms, shoulders over the wrist. You're going to lift up the knees, hold 1, 2, 3, lower back down. So finding that engagement in the core, you'll lift up, hold 1, 2, 3, lower back down. Lift and hold, 1, 2, 3, lower back down. 5 more, lift, hold, 1, 2, 3, lower. Strong through the core, lift, hold, 1, 2, 3, lower. 3 more, lift, hold, lower. 2 to go, lift, lower. Last one, spine is straight, lift, lower. And then we'll add in movement of the carriage. So we're coming up to that same lift, and then we'll press the carriage out and in. You're going to stay lifted the entire time. So lift, hold, press the carriage out with that left leg, pull it back in. Press out, back in. 6 more. 3, and 2, and last one. Bring the carriage in, lower down. You're going to come up to a tall kneeling. For this one, the spring is kind of your choice. We're going into some inner thigh work. So the lighter the spring, the more work you have. I'm going to take off my spring so I don't have any springs on. So if you opt to do that, just be very careful pressing the carriage out. So in this tall kneeling position, you'll press out with that left leg. Your weight's gonna follow it, so you equal weight bearing in both legs. Inner thighs will bring you back up, bringing the carriage back into the stopper. So we'll press out. Inner thighs will bring you back in. Press out. Inner thighs bring you back in. When you bring the carriage in, think of lifting through the pelvic floor as well. So pulling the pelvic floor up towards your belly button. 4 more. 2 more, going as wide as you feel comfortable. And last one. And bring it on in. Let's put on a few springs, doesn't really matter what. We just don't want the carriage to move. And then you can step off. You're going to put the foot bar back up. And then we'll put the short box on. And you're going to find your weights. We're going to be working into back extension and some of our posterior muscles. So, I'm going to put my weight on the headrest. Oops. Let me pick that up. So weight on the headrest to help get into this position. You're going to lay on your stomach, and you want your hips kind of off the box. You're pressing your legs, your calves into the bar, and it's going to be a lot of a hamstring work too, because you're finding that engagement to help keep you steady. You'll pick up a weight in each hand. Weights will go to the floor. And we're going to do a back extension with a row. So as you lift your chest up, kind of think swan, you're going to pull the right elbow behind you into a row. And then as you lower down, you lower the weight down. And then we'll do the left arm and lower. And lift and lower. So kind of finding your rhythm here. We'll go for 8 total, 4 on each side. I think I'm doing an extra one on each side. This is my last one here, and rest down. Now we're going to do similar but different arm movements. So instead of the row, we're going to do kind of like a fly. So you're going to come up, arms will come out to the side, back together, and lower. So just watch out for the frame. Come up, out to the side, and lower. And 6 more here. Feeling the glute working, the lower back, and the hamstrings. Three more. Going as high into that extension as feels okay for you. And last one. And rest down. For this next one, I'm not going to use my weights, but you can if you would like to. I'm going to have my arms in a W. Come to a chest lift, and then staying in this position, arms will shoot overhead, and then elbows will come back in. So arms overhead, back in. So up to you if you want to use your weight or not. You're staying lifted the whole time. You've got 8. Got 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last one. And rest down. Good work. Hands can come to the frame, walk yourself back. Knees will come to the carriage. You're going to put your forearms on the box, round through the spine. Just get some flexion in the spine after that extension work. And then we'll go into an ab set. So we're going to sit on the box, feet on the headrest to start. Hands are going to go onto the carriage. Legs will come up into tabletop. I have my fingers on the outside part of the carriage. And we'll start with single leg extension here. So lift it through the chest, you'll straighten one leg out, pull it back in, and then the second leg, and back in. Working into the lower abdominals. One more on each side. And then we'll do double leg. So both legs will shoot out, pull both legs back in. And we've got 8 here. Sticking with that magic number of 8. 4 more. And 2. Last one. And bring it in. This next one will be scissor leg. So we'll bring the right leg up towards the ceiling, left leg out long. And then we'll scissor switch and scissor switch. So just scissoring the legs. Again, working into our lower abdominals. Keeping the knees as straight as you can. Strong through the shoulders. 1 more on each side. And bring the legs back in. Last thing we're going to do here, we'll go back into our double leg extension. So go ahead and straighten out the legs. Open, close the legs 3 times. And then bend the knees back in. So we're going to open, or press out, open, close 3 times, knees back in. So straighten the legs, open 1, 2, 3, back in. 5 more. Three more. And 2. Last one. And then you can put the feet down, come up, and just round over the legs. And then we'll step off to the left. Your box will go on that side of the carriage. We have our squats on this side. Let's lower the foot bar down now. That way it's out of the way for later. And we will be on 1 medium below spring. And then we'll grab our weight. Just 1 weight. We'll pick up the strap. Weight will go through the short loop. You have your hand on either side. Step back. And we have our squat with the row. So as you squat down, you'll pull the weight into your chest. And then the arms will go back out as you stand up. So squat with a row. Taking your time, working on good form. 4 more. And 2. On this last one, we're going to hold it down, and then we have just 8 rows. So extend the elbows and then bend them back in. We'll go for 8 of those, maintaining that squat position. Squeezing between the shoulder blades, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Last one. And then come back up. And then we have our dip down with the left toe. So squat, row, come up on your left toes, and then the left toes will touch the ground, and then come back to the box. So right leg doesn't move, carriage doesn't move. We just have that toe tap on that left side. 3 more, and 2, and last one, and come all the way back up. We have, let's bring the left leg down behind the box. So now you're going to squat and row, and then you'll come up and you're going to dip forward. That left leg will shoot out long. You'll land that left leg softly behind you, squat and row, and then a little deadlift. Most of the work here is in that right leg, finding that balance through the ankle. I don't really care how far you dip down. It's more just balance and keeping your spine straight. Let's do 3 more. And 2. And last one. Good work. You can take the weight out of the strap, hang up the strap. We're done with the weight. You can put that off to the side. Move the box, that way it's in front of the platform. Come around to the other side. And we have our plank set. So you're going to be on one light yellow, take off the medium blue. Your left shin will go on the platform. Right will be on the carriage. Both of your toes are tucked. Hands will come to the box. We have our hover holds to start. Shoulders over the wrists. You're going to lift the knees, hold 1, 2, 3, lower back down. We'll lift and hold, spine is straight, strong through the arms, lower back down. Lift and hold, and lower, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. 4 more, and lower, and 3, and lower, and 2, keep the knees low, and lower, last one, and lower down. Now we have the pressing out of the carriage. So you're going to lift into that hover, and then we'll press the carriage out and in 8 times. Strong through the arms, and through the toes. 4, and 3, and 2, and last one. Bring the carriage in, lower down. Come to an upright kneeling. You can either stay on that like spring or take off your springs. And then the last thing we have here is our inner thigh work. Staying upright, you're going to press the carriage out nice and controlled. Weight will go with it, so equal weight bearing. And then inner thighs will pull you back in all the way to the stopper. And then we'll press out. Inner thighs will pull you all the way back in. 6 more. And 4. 2. And last one. And come all the way in. You can put on, we're gonna finish with feet and straps, so you can put on either 2 heavies or a heavy and a medium, whatever feels better for you for feet and straps. We'll come on up. Move the box off to the side, we are done with it. And then we'll come to lay on your backs. Headrest can be up or down, whatever you prefer. And then your feet will go in the long loops. We're going to start with frog. So heels together, toes apart, knees about in line with the shoulders, maybe a little bit wider. As you press out over the foot bar, inner thighs will come together to touch. And as you bend the knees, knees will come wide. So press out and back in. I like to exhale out, inhale back in. Staying in that Pilates V, maintaining that heel connection. 2 more. On this last one, we'll hold the legs out long, bring the feet to parallel, and we'll go into walking. You're going to bend the left knee, right leg will go overhead. You might feel a little stretch in that right hamstring. And then press everything back out on the diagonal and switch. Bend the right knee, left leg will go overhead. And press out and switch. So just moving in and out of those hamstring stretches. We did a bit of leg work today, so just kind of working out any lactic acid you may have built up. Let's do 1 more on each side. And then when the legs are out straight, we'll pause, bring the legs back up to overhead, and we'll go into our hip circles. Lower the legs down through center. Circle them away from each other, around and back up, for big hip circles, just as wide as you feel comfortable. One more time around. And then when the legs are overhead, you can pause and reverse the direction. So open the legs out wide, bring them around and down, and come back through center. Open them wide, around and down, and back through center. Only as wide as you feel comfortable. Just working into the hip joint. Two more. Last one. And then when the legs are overhead, you could pause, bend one knee. So I'm bending my left knee, right foot will stay straight. Grab hold of the strap on the right leg. Flex that foot towards you to get a nice stretch through the whole back part of the body, or the leg. We'll stay here for a few breaths. And then you'll switch, bend the right knee, left leg will go up towards the ceiling. And then we'll finish with the butterfly stretch. Bottoms of the feet will come together, knees will open up wide. Press the knees out a little bit just to get a nice inner thigh stretch here. And then you can take your feet out of the straps. Come on up. And you're all done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this more athletic type of workout. If you did, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. If you have any requests, I would love to hear them as well. And I will see you next time.